Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we're back with another slime video, but not gameplay. We are here for my very first tier list video. Now, it's been 3 metas that we have crossed now. 3 months of this game. I literally just hit my 90-day mark achievement in slime, and they give you a nice rainbow memory shard to use on a unit, which is great. Until I saw what you get for the 100 days, and it's back to a 4-star memory shard, and then I had questions that are never going to get answered. But, being this far into the game, I have decided to make a tier list, and from here on out, I'm going to make one at the end of every meta. So I will make this tier list today with you guys. It's going to be a long video, so just be prepared. If you don't want to watch it, you can skip to the end. Totally fine. I don't blame you. But after the end of every meta, after all the new units have come out for that month, we're going to update the same tier list, and we're going to place the new units, and we may change some units depending on how they have aged, or if they are still viable, if they have use in the new meta, even, because there are some units that have been useful in this current meta, which is Fire, as of January 24th. So, let's get started. I guess we'll just go in order. So, Benimaru, very, very good AoE fire unit. That is, I just said we are in the fire meta right now. I personally have a 6-star Benimaru. He is a magic damage dealer, which is great for a lot of the Jubilee normal stages. So, is he viable outside of other places? Yeah, I think so. Let me pull up slime. Let me go over here. That way I can look at everyone's skills. I don't want to spend too much time on him, or on any of these units, because I don't want this video to be like 3 hours long. But he increases his own damage, and he increases the orange skill damage for everybody, not just himself. So he can do double buff to himself if he's, attacking any of his orange skills. I find that to be very, very useful. So I'm going to put him in the yes column, because you should probably use him. If you have him, work on him. He's very decent. Next, Hakuro. A unit that I have pulled way too many times. I'm really tired of seeing him. And a unit that I feel, even myself, slept on him. Okay, well, my video's done rendering behind us. I slept on him a little bit because I'm not a fan of his skills. Decreases all targets' defense by 30%, increases the crit rate by 30%. That secondary part now is invalidated by Fire Milim's existence. And then he decreases the enemy single target enemy counterattack rate by 32%. It goes up to, I think, 40. I'm not big on his skills. His skills are actually kind of trash. He is a very competent single target damage dealer, and during the wind meta, he had relevance because the wind meta was really focused on overkilling bosses. So being, very strong single target ult, he's had some decent use. But I think his lack of a decent skill set really holds him back. So I'm going to put him in the kinda. Maybe if you've got everyone else that, is on the next tier, maybe you can work on him. If you don't have a good win team, then obviously you can. But he's not bad. He's just limited now because his skills don't really help anyone else. Wind Milim. Speaking of helping other people, Wind Milim is a day 1 release unit, and even now she has tremendous value, being on the wind team just like Hakuro, but her skill increases your ult damage by 70% and her own crit damage by 20%. So it's a 2-part skill. Increasing the Soul of Combo's damage by 70% is still the highest base multiplier in the game, because Dark Veldora only does 50%. No, he does 60%. And then Guy Crimson does 40%, but Guy has another extra effect on there which kind of makes up for it. But as terms of raw boost for the ult, Milim is up there. So she's going up there. Questions? Why? Why do you have questions? If you have her, build her out. She will help your team. She will help you do so much more damage. Space Rimuru is going up there too. His attack boost is, as I have just recently learned, a little wonky. And I say that because many people who are much better at math than me have done the calculations. There's a whole spreadsheet, and apparently your attack boost is more effective if the enemy has higher defense. Don't ask me how, because I don't know how to explain it other than what I've just told you. All I know is that I've seen numbers. I haven't gone into the game and tested. I have seen screenshots of tests, but I personally have not tested it. But apparently that's how it works. It is not just a 40% attack boost on your attack stat, as I was led to believe when I made my original Milim versus Rimuru video. So, with that in mind, he's still very effective. I mean, he still boosts your attack, regardless of, what percentage it actually is at the end of the day. He also boosts your defense, which is very valuable for surviving endgame content. So, he is a very good unit. He has a decent attack stat by himself. He can put up damage. He's an AoE for space. We haven't yet had the space meta. It's kind of what I'm hoping for next, but we will see. But he brings value to the entire team. Therefore, he also goes into the questions category. Earth Milim. Not a unit I have used very often until these extreme conquest stage have started dropping, and then the Space Milim conquest is just brutal. So you need all of the Earth units you can. My Milim is 6-star. Milim changes oranges to blues, which can be good if you're trying to get, the Earth Golem Protector, and so you can guard and counter. It's great. She also increases your defense by 25%, which, just like Rimuru, is very good. Double orb changing, always valuable. Defense raising, always valuable. Her attack stat actually isn't terrible, all things considered. So, I'm hesitating to put her into yes. Mainly because I haven't used her too much. Like, I can read what she does. I have taken into Conquest 2 times, maybe. I don't have too much experience with her. So I will put her in yes for now. And at the end of next month, we will see if she stays in this category. Moving on, Dark Milim. Dark Milim is a fantastic single target damage dealer for the Dark team. She's magic-based, excellent. She's Milim, so personally, excellent. She's a double orb changer, changes oranges to blues, and increases the gauge by 7% for each one. Always great. Her second skill, though, has become slightly relevant because it increases your crit resistance by 50%. Can be very useful in the Ifrit stage or any other stage where they just crit you over and over and over again. It can save you. It can, reduce your damage. Increases her own crit rate by 15%, but as we've said before, the increasing crit rate is now fully in Fire Milim's hands. So I would love to put her in questions, but again, no one else can summon for her now. So if you don't have her, I don't know the next time you're going to see her. There are other units that do oranges to blues. So this kills me, absolutely kills me to put her here. But I'm going to put her in kinda. There are other units that do what she does. Her meta is over. Maybe, because I'm trying to use her on the Ifrit stage, the extreme Ifrit, because he crits everywhere. If I do end up beating it and she is a major player, I will move her up to yes. But for now, I'll put you in kinda. Trainee. The meme that I cannot escape from this goddamn channel. Her attack stat is laughable. Let's just get it out there. But she's not meant to attack. She's meant to keep you alive. She is the second best healer in the game, behind Rimuru, which we'll get to. We got a ways to go. 30% is a decent amount. Rimuru is 60, so do the math in your head. is she still very valuable? Because Rammus is an Octagram unit, and you either bought Milim, or you're saving for another Octagram unit, or you just don't have enough because you just started the game and you have like 30 of them, and you need 100. Rammus isn't viable right now to go head-to-head with Trainee as far as usefulness, because she is locked. She is hard locked. So Trainee, I'm going to put in yes, because she is, at the end of the day, the best general banner unit healer you can get. Soe. Also been using him quite a bit in the Ifrit stage. He is really the only DPS for the water team at the moment. The water team is in a rough shape right now. What does he do? He increases your defense by 25%, and he does kind of what the wind meta does, but with the blue skill. He increases the blue damage by 5% to a max of 100 at capped out. He also is a double orb changer. So he has good value in the Ifrit stage. He increases everyone's defense. He changes oranges to greens. I think because people are trying to beat Ifrit, I think you're going to go into yes. If you have him, you're going to need him for that stage, unless the water meta comes and he gets hard replaced by someone else, but that's in the future, that's not now. Dark Shion. Again, personally a unit I don't use very often. I didn't even use her a lot when the dark meta was a thing. I'm not entirely sure what she does. She is an AoE, physical. She increases your pierce rate and pierce power. So if you're having trouble beating stage 68 in the Crucible, the stupid bats, I used her in my video as an example. She can help you clear that stage in one turn, because you just need pierce damage. So, good value there. And then increases your poison evasion rate by 92%, which other units can do. Or they can just cleanse the poison altogether, like the free-to-play Fire Shuna, who's a free level 100 6-star unit. You're going to go into maybe. You're useful in one stage of Crucible. Your meta is over. Your poison evasion is replaceable. I don't suggest you focus on her for anything unless you really need someone to beat Hinata on like Expert or Master. Maybe. There are other units that can do what she does. Ranga. Space Ranga. Where are you? Where... Wait, no, really, where are you? There you are. Okay. An AoE, space magic attack, a double orb changer, and increases the green gauge by 6%. Very good, useful. And your pierce rate by 12%, and guard penetration by 30%. That's at level 4, because I haven't used him a lot. Pretty sure it goes up to 20% for the pierce rate. And I mean, Shion's got a higher pierce rate. Space Milim is 100%. I'm gonna put you in maybe. Obviously, again, the space meta has not come around yet. Double orb changing is cool. Your pierce rate and your guard penetration is pretty low, because the guard penetration 30% is not going up even if you upgrade the skill. You're gonna go in maybe. Fire Milim, you're going up top. I don't need to explain why. You give the entire team guaranteed crits. If you have questions on that, you probably need to summon for her. And just to figure out why giving the entire team an entire 6-hand guaranteed crits is incredible. And also sealing crit resistance. And she's a single orb changer. There shouldn't be questions. Moving on. Gazel Dwargo. The second to last unit that I pulled from the general banner. Light physical DPS unit. He is a very greedy motherfucker. All his buffs are only for him, which is fine because he is meant to do straight up damage. However, I have found that my 84 Gazel's attack stat when I'm ulting, even with all his buffs and some other stuff, is not incredible. Maybe it's because the Orca Disaster needs to be hit with magic attacks more than physical attacks. That could be the case, and that's where I'm using him. But his first skill increases on attack by 24% and crit rate by 20%. Your attack stat can be covered by Space Rimuru. Your crit rate can be covered by Milim. His second skill increases on crit damage by 18% and defense by 20%. I mean, technically your defense can be also covered by Space Rimuru. Crit damage, not a lot of people give a team crit damage. I mean, for lack of a better option on the light team, you should probably build him. When the light meta comes, I'm sure he will become much better with a better supporting cast around him, where you don't have to use a hodgepodge of units, and maybe a light protector a little better than Romulus. I like Romulus as a protector. She changes your entire hand if you have greens. No, and oranges to greens, which can be useful. But yeah, he needs help. I think the light meta needs help. Let's see, Water Rimuru. Again, a unit that I'm using a lot in the Fire Conquest stage. He is still the only unit in the game that can reduce an enemy's ult gauge, which is not something to be taken lightly, especially in the Ifrit stage where he ults you like 6 goddamn times. You're going to go up there because it's the only skill in the game that you can use it, and because it has tremendous value. And he's a healer. It's not a big heal, it's like 20%, but it's better than nothing. And if you heal and you prevent them from ulting, that's okay in my books. Build him out. Light Shuna. A unit that I had at level 1 until EX Conquest came out, and then I was like, okay, well I need more light units. Double Orb Changer. Oranges to blues. Great. Increases the blue gauge by 6%. Cool. Stun evasion rate by 92%. Very useful in the Orc of Disaster stage. You should probably build her. If you're having trouble with that stage and you don't want to bring Dark Benimaru, because 1, he's dark, and 2, he's physical, and the Orc of Disaster needs light and magic, Light Shuna can be your girl. She will help you out a lot. Beretta. Beretta is an enigma for me. I like Beretta. We'll just call it by its name. It's a doll, whatever. I don't know. Questions. Single target, which is good. Magic, good. Double Orb Changer from blues to oranges, which is good. Increases the orange gauge by 7%, great. Guard penetration rate by 50% and pierce rate by 10%. Definitely has value in most places, but if you don't have her, it's not the end of the world. Other units can orb change. Guard penetration I'm not too big on right now. There's not a big use for it right now. I'm sure that when whatever meta comes and guard penetration becomes a thing, that skill will have much more usefulness. So maybe in a month or so we'll move her up to yes, and we'll move someone down. I don't know. But for now, you're going to be in kinda. Alright, this is Dark Veldora, the second unit to boost ult damage by a lesser amount than Windmillum, 60% instead of 70%. He also decreases everyone's pierce resistance by 10%, all enemies' pierce resistance by 10%, which is not overly useful. His second skill decreases a single target's crit damage by 14%. I believe that goes up to... I don't know if it goes up to 15 or 20. This is at level 7. So it doesn't have too much more room to grow. I have not used him at all. Like, I haven't used him. And you can't summon for him anyways. Milim has a better ult boost. Guy has a better ult boost. I'm not big a fan of his second skill. He's an AoE. You're going to go in maybe. If you have him, you probably already built him. If you don't have him, you're not missing out. Unless you just love Veldora, which in this case, you're going to be double shafted. Gobta. Oh, Gobta. Where are you? Wait, where is he? How can I miss that head? No, seriously. There he is. Alright. Gobta. One of the lowest attack stats in the game. Lower than Shizu, actually. And I suppose they made him like that because of his second skill, which boosts his own critical damage by 19%, up to 25%, and his own counter power by 10%. Which, if you have someone to give him guaranteed crits, like Fire Milim, he can look okay. You would think. But I just got done doing the Earth Conquest EX stage on 3 stars, and even with that boost, his damage is not great. Level 80. He had a 5-star glove on. Still not great. Still hit lower than my Milim and my Shizu. And if you don't have Fire Milim to give him crits, he's actual garbage. Actual garbage. So I probably should have made him in here twice, to be perfectly honest with you. Because if you have Fire Milim, he can go into kinda. If you don't have Fire Milim, he's going into Y. He is a double orb changer. Other people can double orb change. His own crit damage boost is fine if he crits. And if you're not boosting with Milim, your chance to crit is let's check that out real fast. Crit rate 2%. 2%. So, I'm going to assume the best of it. And assume that you have Milim and Gobta. But just know that if you don't have Milim, he is actually down here. Actually, I'm going to leave him down here. With the grain of salt that if you have Milim, he will go higher. But summoning for every single unit on every single banner is not something that you should be doing. So, that's that. If you hate me, I'm sorry. He's just not that impressive. He's not that good. Shizu. A very specific unit. She was my last unit to pull from the unfeatured units. So I love her and hate her for that. She is a double orb changer. Excellent. She is also a stun dodger, which is excellent for the stage that you would want to use her in, which is the Earth Golem stage, which I just beat with her as my main DPS. She is level 88. That's fine. Outside of that, her attack stat is abysmal. And it pains me to say that, but it really is. It's like the lowest attack stat with Trainee and Gobta. It's awful. So, it hurts. You're going to go into kinda. With the fire meta over, Milim is here, Guy is here, Gobta is here, Benimaru is here. There are other options for the fire team now. Her stun evasion rate is useful, her double orb changing is useful, but it doesn't push her up into this tier of character. She's going to stay in the middle of the pack because she cannot do damage. Wind Veldora. Again, if you are a Veldora stand, I apologize, but it's going to be a while. Double orb changer and increases your green gauge by 7%. And then his second skill decreases all targets' pierce power by 19%, and then buffs the green damage by 5%, which is stackable. Single target wind, which, cool. I haven't used him. Have not used him. We have other units that orb change, and I don't care about his power. And I've already tested the green stacking power, and it's not something to write home about. Alright, sorry about that. Had to make a cut because my next delivery of HelloFresh came and I had to feed my cat. So, had to take care of that first. Where did we end off at? Wind Veldora? I think we talked about him enough. You're going in maybe. Yeah. Maid Rimuru. Why? Why does Maid Rimuru exist? For shits and giggles? For the memes? For your husbando, waifu, slimu, kinda? I don't know. Whatever you guys are into. Single target win for 430% damage. That's at level 80. It goes up to 450. Okay, he's a single target wind damage dealer. His first skill increases your defense by 25%, which is good. Increases your max HP by 30%, which you would think on paper is good. But it only increases your maximum capacity, and only temporarily. It doesn't increase your current health pool to match that 30% increase. And so when you use that skill, it's going to look like you actually took damage, because you have increased by 30%, which is fine, but now you're no longer at full HP, now you look like you have less, and now you have to heal to get back to that point, and then it'll disappear, and then you're back to whatever you were before that time, minus whatever damage you took. I don't like that skill. I have no use for that skill. If you raise defense, you raise the HP, and you raised my existing HP to that same level, then we're talking a different story. But you don't. So why? Your second skill, guard power by 25%, and your green skill damage by the end of battle by 5%. Guard power is neither here nor there. You could use him on the water team, I guess, to, boost your guard, reduce the damage you're going to take when you have guard up. I have no use for you. I have never once used you for any actual content outside of my initial showcase for him. I hate this unit. I actually hate this unit. And I hate that I summoned for him. Moving on. Valentine. Going up into questions. If you were not here for the wind meta, if you were not able to pull Valentine, my sincerest apologies, because you're really missing out. A fantastic unit. Single target ult. A lot of... Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I don't know what happened. Sounds were happening. Had to go figure out what those sounds were, where they're coming from, and if I had to clean anything up. Going back, Valentine. Fantastic unit. Single target, like I said before. She's a healer, which is fantastic. She also raises the green skill damage by 5%. Cool. I don't really care about that, but she is a healer. 25% at level 10. Very decent amount. Her second skill, she is the first and still only unit to double orb change, but 2 individual orbs into 1 orb. She changes 1 blue and 1 orange into 2 greens, which is fantastic usage for getting a full hand, because sometimes you only have 1 blue and 1 orange, and you have 4 greens, and you're like, okay, well, if I didn't have Valentine, I could use a 25-point skill, and, I could waste its potential, because I could change 2, but I'm only having 1, but I need a full hand. It's incredible. She also increases the gauge by 7% when you use the greens, so you get that double whammy. It makes it very easy to get full hands of green orbs with her. So she heals, she is a fantastic orb changer, she's going in top tier, and I am very sad that I only pulled 1 of her. I didn't realize how useful she would be until much later on. Space Milim, hello, goodbye. I'm not going to talk about you. You know my stance on Space Milim. If you are new to this channel and have not watched my showcases on Space Milim, you should probably do that, and then you'll understand why I put her up top. Moving on, Diablo. Again, sometimes I feel that I should have pulled a few more dupes of him, but I made it through. I made it through the Dark Meta because I had Dark Milim. So, what does Diablo do? Increases his own attack by 22%, which goes up to 25%, and decreases our target's dark resistance by 10%. That allows him to hit harder, both from his own attack and because he's lowered their resistance to dark damage. Excellent for single target nuking because he is a single target ult. He is also a 1 orb changer, and I really, really feel that if he was a double orb changer, he would go higher for me. Because I'm going to put him here. 1, you can't pull him anymore. So if you don't have him, sorry. 2, I do recognize his potential. I don't have that ability to unlock his full potential. So he generally ends up sitting out most of the time. I did use him in my EX Hinata battle. He was the weakest hitter. Even with his damage boost. he still hit less than my Dark Milim and my free-to-play Benimaru, and that obviously is because I only have him at level 80, so it's my own damn fault, but I have to gauge him on my own personal usage, because at the end of the day, tier lists are my opinion. Everyone's different opinion. Everyone has a different opinion on this unit. He could be up top tier number 1 for someone, not me. So he's going to kinda. If he had a double orb change, he'd go up here. But he doesn't, so he's going down there. Octagram Rimuru, a unit I personally have never ever used, because I bought Space Milim, and I only have 50 Octagram points now? 50 Octagram points. She is the, quote-unquote, the best healer in the game. 60% heal at level 10. She also boosts all wind damage by 15%. And that's, normal attacks, that's ults, that because it is a wind attack boost and not a straight attack boost, you can stack that along with Space Rimuru's flat attack boost. You could also stack it on top of an alt boost. You could stack it on the crit boost, and then, if you have the points to use an attack boost, an alt boost, a crit boost, and the wind damage boost, your wind characters can do dummy numbers of damage. But she is, just like Space Milim, locked behind the Octagram shop. So, assuming that you have enough points, she is the best healer in the game. She is a fantastic support. She's not meant to hit hard like Space Milim. She's meant to keep you alive. And you cannot go wrong with a 60% heal. If you're having trouble choosing between Space Milim and Wind Rimuru, I don't blame you. They do two different things. They're two units that people like. I know, personally, I love Milim. There's 3 of them up here that are in the top row. I know people that like Rimuru. I had more utility with, so let's change that. Rimuru probably has more overall utility, because her heal is indiscriminate. You're going to heal everyone. And your wind boost is for the wind team. She has more overall use. Space Milim is a single target nuker. She is relegated to doing damage. You could make your arguments for either unit based on what you're trying to use them for. But they are Octagram units, which means they have the highest stats in the game. Whether or not they're locked behind the Octagram shop and farming for literal 2 months to get enough for 1 copy of Milim, they both deserve to go up here because of what they can do. Almost to the end. Demon Lord Rimuru, a unit I don't have. The only 5-star battle unit that I do not have, because I did not summon on his original banner. Because I didn't really care. What does he do? I actually don't remember. What does he do? Battle characters. Demon Lord Rimuru increases his own crit rate by 100% and crit damage by 15%, and then stun evasion rate by 100% and increases blue damage by 10%. Okay, so where is my tier list? There it is. Have not personally used him. I can only judge him based on what I read on paper. He boosts his own damage. Cool. He increases your blue damage and gives you the stun evasion rate. Cool, that can be useful in a number of different places. If his crit boost was for everyone, that'd be incredible. If his ult was a single target, that would be extra incredible. But it's not. You're an AoE. You're an AoE with a guaranteed crit, which can be good. Some Jubilees require you to, get that extra damage, kill everyone as quick as possible. That will definitely help you. But we have Space Milim now, or Fire Milim, who boosts everyone's crit. You may have extra crit damage, but I'm judging you on paper only, and this is better because this is team-wide, and you are greedy. Which brings us to the very end of my tier list. Guy. Whatever you want to call him, just like people are going to roast me for saying Milim instead of Milim, or whatever. I'm going to call him Guy. He is an interesting unit, because when he released, everyone was very confused by his skill set. If you don't know what he does, you probably should, because you either summon for him because he's got Crimson, and he's a Demon Lord, and he's a very hype unit, or you need him because we're working on the Jubilee right now. Like, right stat now is the Jubilee, where you need him. His first skill, chance to seal defense up on all targets 100%. So if you have a boss who has incredibly high defense buff, like Jubilee Milim, you negate that for 1 turn, which means that you must have your entire hand ready to nuke the crap out of her for that 1 turn, because it will not carry over. If her defense boost is for 4 turns and you use Guy's buff or debuff, cool, you've cut 1 turn off of those 4. And so as soon as that 1 turn is over where you nuke everything and she still lives, she's back to having incredible defense for the last 3 turns. If that skill wiped out the entire defense boost fully, he would be a god. Literal god. But he doesn't, which is unfortunate. It really holds him back. He does have a very specific use in the Jubilee. Outside of that, that skill, that individual skill, doesn't have much use. His second skill, though, another alt booster by 50%, which you would think, it's lower than Veldora, and it's lower than Milim, so it's not that good. However, you also decrease all targets' crit resistance by 20%. Now, it's worded funky. In logical terms, you would think that, okay, crit resistance, which means that you have a 20% more chance to crit. Because if you're going to increase crit damage or crit, like, damage reduction, that would be a different wording. That's not how this works. Decreases all targets' crit resistance by 20% does not mean you have 20% more chance to crit. It means you actually do 20% more damage on your crits. I don't know why they didn't word it like that. Maybe it lost in translation, I don't know. But if you have Fire Milim guaranteeing you crits, popping this skill will boost your alt damage by 50%, and it'll mean that your guaranteed crit alt will do 20% more damage. That is a very good skill, and it kind of makes up for that 20% that he's missing on his actual boost versus, Wind Milim. So he actually has a little bit more relevance if you're using him in tandem with Fire Milim. You don't have to, because you do have that chance to crit, and, if you don't have Wind Milim, and you don't have Dark Veldora, and you need an alt booster, then he's your man. Do I recommend summoning for him now, when the live stream showing out the new meta is literally in, 8 hours? Probably not. Actually, no, I don't. Because you've either done the Jubilee and you've gone as far as you can, or you're not even touching Jubilee because you don't have a team for it. And to go into, top 1-2%, you really need Guy. So he's a very specific unit. I spent a lot of time on him. You're going to go in kinda. Yeah, you're going to go in yes, actually. Well, he's very limited. His first skill is only useful in the Jubilee. I have not found a second stage in the game where his first defense seal is entirely useful. Maybe like the Fire Milim story event that's leaving in 3 days. Again, these are 2 very temporary events. None of the general events really have a use for his first skill. His alt boosting is good. I'll move you into yes for now, because of what you can do for the current meta right now. So that is my tier list for all of the current 5-star battle units as of January 24th at 5:02 p.m. We will find out the next meta during their live stream, like I said, in 9 hours. Give or take 9 hours. The JP live stream will take place, and that's when they're going over their February roadmap. Let me know in the comments what you thought of my list. Am I complete garbage? Am I hating too much on Gobta and Maid Rimuru? Where would you change these rankings? I want to know, because this is a discussion, and these are only my opinions, and all of you have your own opinions, and I would love to hear them. So, let me know in the comments what you think. But for now, take it easy, guys, and I'll see you later.